back to my channel. Today's video I am going to be talking about all the books that I'm going to be reading in the month of June. So let's get started. So my first book that I'm actually going to read, hold on. So I went back and forth on what I'm going to read this month. I went through different scenarios, different ideas, different things because I have two readathons that I'm going to be participating in the month of June. I'm actually going to be participating in two summer readathons. One is the Suns Out readathon with Olivia from Liv's Library and a bunch of other YouTube booktubers, and their book prompts, there's 4 book prompts in this readathon, and the readathon is actually happening June 20th to the 26th, but I have a whole other summer readathon happening that same weekend, the end weekend, the 25th and the 26th, I think, yeah. And it's another summer readathon that is the Seasons readathon with Sarah from Sarah's Reading Nook and a whole bunch of other people there. I know Abigail that I did the Catathon readathon with. Abigail from Abigail's Cup of Tea is one of the hosts, and there's a whole bunch of other, you can like go on their channels and see like what the whole thing is, but I will be telling you my TBRs for those, and in total that the TBRs for both of those are going to be what I'm going to be reading the whole month of June. But if I read them quick enough, I might try to fit in a couple of other books. The first one I'll go off the Suns Out, Books Out readathon. I'm going to be reading, the first book I'm going to be reading, I'm going to have to put up a lot of them as pictures because I don't have a physical copy. I'm going to be reading them on my iPad, like a Kindle. But the first one, I was trying to decide which one of these I wanted to read because both of them, the first prompt is to read something with the color yellow on the cover. And so it can be like a little bit of yellow, it could be like the whole cover, whatever. And I was going back and forth with what to read for this one. I had like so many options of what I wanted to read. But I wanted to read books that I had not ever read before instead of rereading a series or a book in a series or something like that. So I decided to read for this one Whispering Pines, which is a mystery, and it's a mixture between Stranger Things and X-Files, and that's all that I really know about it. I kind of want to go in open-minded and not really know much about what I'm reading, but that's kind of the gist of everything is Stranger Things vibes, which is perfect because the first half of season 4 of Stranger Things came out last weekend, and I am in such like a Stranger Things mood right now where I'm just like tempted to just rewatch the whole series because I finished the entire 7 episodes in one day, and I'm like ready for July 1st to get here so I can so I can watch the other 2 episodes of the season. But, so yes, I'm going to be reading that one because it does have a little bit of yellow if you look at the cover. It has like a little, she's like wearing a yellow shirt, and there's like a little bit of yellow in the cover. Also, I do need to say a side note that a lot of my books this month are all like mystery thriller type books, which is interesting, and I think it's because I'm on that Stranger Things kick right now. So that is the first book I'm going to read for the month and also for that as part of the readathon. And then the next book I'm going to read is actually, this is kind of a long story, but I have been trying so hard to watch Gilmore Girls like fully. I've never finished the show completely. It's taken me years, and I've officially made it today to the final 2 episodes, and then I have the Year in the Life episodes to watch, but I finally will be done with the series in like a couple of hours from now, which I'm so excited for. But I wanted to finish it because actually I'm wanting to read the book that Lauren Graham wrote that is all about her being on Gilmore Girls and then other things, I believe, but most of it is about her being on Gilmore Girls. And I didn't want to read it before I had finished the show. So also I found out about this book from Liv, which is what I'm going to be reading as a book recommended by a friend prompt for this readathon. And I've been wanting to read this since I first found out about the Gilmore Girls readathon a few years ago that basically kickstarted my thoughts on reading, or kickstarted my idea of getting back into reading basically. And so it's kind of coming full circle, which is so cool. And I finally am able to read her book because I'm finally finished with the series. So there's that situation. That's what I'm going to be reading for that. And then the next book that I'm going to be reading is, also I'm going to be reading that one on my Kindle as well, which is why it's popped up there. But the next book I'm going to read is The Cousins, and this is for the chiller, so chill thriller. This book I've had on my TBR since I think February, and it is by the same person that wrote One of Us is Lying and The Two Can Keep a Secret. There's, I think, a sequel to one of those that just came out. She has a whole bunch of mystery thriller type books, but this one's called The Cousins, and it's, all I know of is that these like people get sent these letters in the mailbox, and they find out that they're supposed to be going to this like house, and they all end up at the same house, but they don't know why they're asked to come there, and they like don't know what's going on, and then I'm assuming somebody like dies or something, but it's all about like them actually being related somehow or something. I have no clue, but it's like a mystery thriller, which is all of her stuff is basically, and somebody even said that it's, if you love Riverdale and sharp objects, which I'm a huge Riverdale fan, this is basically like a YA mystery genre type thing. So I'm very excited to read this book. I was actually going to wait to read it either for a readathon, which is what I'm doing, or wait and read it in the fall time. But I decided to go ahead and read it for this readathon, so I can go ahead and check it off my TBR list. So that is what I'm reading for that prompt. And then the final one is actually a book that they're doing for a buddy read, and the final prompt is to read something with an island, ocean, or beach setting, but I'm assuming you can add in lake there because it's like a water setting. So I'm actually going to be reading this book that just came out today called The Counselors, and it's the buddy read that they're doing on a Discord thing, which I don't know if I'm going to get Discord to talk about it on the buddy read. I'm probably just going to talk about it on Instagram and stuff. But I am going to be reading that book for that specific prompt, so that I can stay up with everybody else, up to date with that book, because everybody is most likely going to be reading that book as well, with it being brand new. And so I'm going to read that book. It's another mystery book, which is these counselors at this camp. Somebody's ex-boyfriend or boyfriend turns up dead, and they don't know how it happened, and they're trying to figure out what happened to him. And it's something, and it's like set in like a summer camp theme. So I'm very excited about that, and because I actually went to summer camp as a kid, and so it's like bringing back so many fun memories for me, and so I'm very excited to read that book. And then the next books that I'm going to be reading is for the 48-hour readathon, for the seasons readathon, which you can, depending on which hemisphere you're in, the northern hemisphere does summer, the southern hemisphere does winter, and I am going to be obviously saying hello to summer, and my two books that I'm going to be reading for this readathon, and there's also going to be reading sprints for both of these readathons, and also for the readathon of the Sun's Out, Books Out readathon. They are actually going to be doing a watch party of The Summer I Turned Pretty, and they're doing a couple of reading sprints as well. So this is what I'm going to be reading for the other one though, but the seasons readathon, which is, the first one was a book that's like set in summertime, and that book I'm going to be reading is one that I've had literally for years. I've tried to read it when I was younger and just could never get into it, but it's called LBD, and it's about this group of friends that they work at this summer clubhouse place, and they're trying, it's like a couple of friends, and it's almost kind of like it almost gives me the Clique vibes, like that friend group, but no like bullying or anything like that, like how they do in the Clique, but it's like that kind of friend group, or like maybe like Pretty Little Liars friend group, but more so the friend group of the clique, but they have different things going on. Like one girl is about to have to move away. Another, there's like a boy drama. There's like a whole bunch of different things that are happening, but it's all like at this beach. It's like a beach themed. It's like how they're going to spend their summer, and also kind of gives me aquamarine vibes. And so, but without like the mermaids, but they have like a whole bunch, they're trying to like save their friend from being able to move away, from having to move away, which is part of the storyline of Aquamarine and stuff. So it's actually going to be a very fun, light read, I feel like, and very fun summer read. The cover is just so cute and glittery and fun. I'm very excited to read this. Also, it's a pretty easy read for me to read over a weekend, so I'm excited about that. And then also, I actually went to my local library a couple of days ago, and they were having a sale on their books, certain books. Like if you went into like a little area, they have a book sale going on where you can get any of the books you pick out, as long as they all fit into a as long as they fit into like a little paper bag or plastic bag, and you can get them all for $1 total. And I found 8 books at this book sale because I have to read a thriller for this readathon. So so the thriller that I picked for this readathon is this one I found in my library that's called You're Invited to a Creepover, and it's Truth or Dare themed. And it's basically like a sleepover version of Goosebumps in a way. I've never read any of these books before as a kid, but there's a bunch of series. It's like a whole series. There's like spooky activities to do with your friends. There's like a whole bunch of different stuff in here, but it's a really small, short little book, and it seems like it's going to be really easy for me to get through the weekend. But yes, it looks very interesting. It seems like they have a sleepover, and then they have like this truth or dare game that goes on, and then it turns like really, really creepy vibes. So I feel like truth or dare is a very thrilling game if you play it, you know? And so I feel like this is a perfect thriller for that weekend readathon. So yes, so that is all those. And then I have a week, the last couple of days of the month, I actually can fit at least one more book in that week. And that book I'm going to read, I'll pop it up here. It's called The Strangers. I just found out about that book around the same time that I found out about Whispering Pines. But The Strangers is about these kids that they're either adopted or something, and they like are at this person's house, or their mom's house or somebody's house, but then there's like a local news thing that comes out saying that these other kids were kidnapped, and they kind of like resemble the kids that are the main people, and I'm assuming that they're like faking their identities or doing something like they're actually the kids, but like they didn't realize that they were actually kids or something, and they're like basically were kidnapped as babies and they didn't realize it, or I don't really know exactly, but it almost seems like that kind of vibe, which is perfect because it's called The Strangers, and Stranger Things Season 4 Part 2 comes out that following Friday. So I feel like it's a very good book to read that week because it'll be on brand for the week. But yes, so that is my full TBR of June as of right now, because I may add books. I'm definitely not going to take away any books. I'm going to read them all, but I am going to maybe try to fit in a couple more books to hopefully maybe hit 10 books again this month, because March is my only month so far that I've read 10 books. But I'm going to just go about it as I can and just see what happens. So yes, so that is my TBR. If you were planning on reading any of these books, or you wanting to participate in any of the readathons, let me know down below, because I would love to be able to have somebody to read books with, and and I think it'll just be really, really fun. So I hope you have a wonderful June month with reading. Also, if there's any of these books that you would like to see a reading vlog on, let me know, because I kind of want to do a couple of those this month, and talk about each book as I'm reading them. So let me know which ones you want to see me do the reading vlog for, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!